Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. As you can tell from the title of this video, the Wanhao D12 300 didn't quite work out. It is probably one of the most frustrating printers that I've ever had, and I can put it down to firmware. I'm 100% convinced that the firmware on that unit is just not ready. At the time of making this video, which is early 2021, there's a second version of the firmware out which I loaded. Didn't make any difference in terms of the things that I was struggling with. It only works with a specific profile of Cura. If you change anything on that profile, bed adhesion, speed, anything like that, the printer will stop working. It will just fail. It fails halfway through prints for no apparent reason, and then cannot do the resume thing on account of the print being too big and not being able to go back to home. It eats SD cards. It will just corrupt the SD card, and then there's no file to actually return to or resume from. The bed leveling is iffy at best. It does not work with Octoprint. It does not work with Simplify 3D, and when I mailed the people over at Wanhao, the response was they only created the profile for the D12 230 and not for the 300, and it will be done, quote, ASAP. Not very impressed. However, I bought my printer from a reputable retailer called the 3D Printing Store, linked to their website down below. And when I eventually took it back this morning and I said to them, guys, I've really reached the end of my tether on this, they graciously offered to give me a refund. I do need a printer with a bigger build quality though, and I used the store refund to buy Creality Ender 5 Plus. And this is going to be the unboxing video for this printer. This is quite a sturdy build plate. Looks like it's also magnetic. Oh, and it's got some clamps in here already. Some clamps to keep the top bit on here. Now obviously, as you guys know, I like to print on glass, so we'll have to check that out. Smallest roller filament holder, extrusions, box of goodies, proper power cord, selection of screws, tools, USB cable, putty knife, clips, SD card, main printer body. I have no idea what these things are, so I'm just unpacking. Third piece. Oh my word. Oh. Main control unit, I'm assuming, on the base plate with the feet. Lots of cables. That's everything. Right, let's find a manual and figure out how to assemble this bad boy. Ender 5 Plus printer. To be the chief evangelist guidebook to make top quality 3D printer. This guidebook is for standard Ender 5 Plus only. Please plug the power cord into the 3-hole power jack. Detailed instructions are available in TF card. Okay. Doesn't tell me how to build it yet. Ah, instructions. I wonder where you can buy these side cutters. I get one of these with every one of the 3D printers I buy, well except for the Wanhao. But both my ANET printers came with one of these, and they're the best little side cutters ever. When you fit these extrusions, it's got a hole over there. They need to be on top, outside. Check it out. That's all 16 of the M525 bolts used, 2 on each corner, which makes a very sturdy frame. Right, so the picture shows inserting the frames from the bottom behind, like I've got it here, so facing the bottom of the power supply, and slotting them in from the bottom, and we need to tighten them down with M530 screws, of which there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them, which is same as the book. The next step in the book got something to do with the filament holder. I think they want me to fit that. And from what I can figure out, it looks like it goes in the back here. So on the back side of the printer, inside the front. I'm going to place it sort of halfway, because I think that's going to be more logical. Right, next we're going to use these M410 supplied nuts to attach the bed to the frame. I understand now why they say put in 4, don't tighten them yet, and then put in the other 4, because they don't exactly match up. You have to finagle this thing a little bit to get it in. Sorted. I have to say, so far this thing's going together a lot quicker and easier than what the Wanhao did, and I was really impressed with the way the Wanhao actually went together. We've gotten to the point where you connect the wires. Not so much the wires. Let's see if we can connect them in a somewhat orderly fashion. They don't show any picture of the completed printer so that you get an idea of where to run the wires. All the wires are color coded and all the plugs are indexed. So can't really mess this up, I don't think. Process of elimination. Start with the shortest one. So they are labeled. These little yellow things are actual little labels. And it says Z and Y and all kinds of things on them. Top tip. And there we have it, one fully assembled Creality Ender 5 Plus. And now we're ready to do the first switch on. Let me just go show you something about the cabling at the back there. So I've decided that I'm going to take a bit of time. I mean, this one just tied to that one over there. I'm going to take a bit of time before I decide how to tie these cables down. There's still quite a bit of a mess over here. Even just now with connecting them, I realized better ways to actually route the cabling. So we'll take our time to make the cabling neat, get it in little pockets or something, I'm not exactly sure. But for the moment it won't snag on anything, so that's good enough for now. Let's go switch this bad boy on for the very first time.
A few minutes later.
So this one didn't come with the option to switch between 110 volts and 220 volts. In South Africa here we use 220 volts, and the little switch to select that on the power supply, I think it's on that side, doesn't exist on this one. So it's 220 volts, you don't have an option, but do check that before you switch on for the very first time. Otherwise you might just sit, electronic equipment, if the smoke comes out, it stops working. All electronic equipment runs on smoke. When the smoke comes out, it's bust. You have to chuck it away. Switching on, it's doing its little thing there. See if I can move the camera up ever so slightly. Yes, you can also see the head there. Okay, print temp settings. Let's do bed leveling first. I wonder if I can get the camera up higher so that you can see that. Okay, I think we should be able to see that. So, leveling. Obviously checking its ranges. Now, supposedly, the fact that the head moves like this and the bed moves down as you print means that we can print a lot faster with this printer. That is so cool. Okay. So on here there's a button that says measuring. I also turned on auto leveling. Okay, it looks like it's got 24 points to go and do this.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
And that's it. Sitting here for loading filament says refuel. I think we should go fetch a roll of filament and refuel this thing so we can make our first print. Okay, so I grabbed a roll of yellow PLA, refuel. Heating up the nozzle. I have to say it's a lot faster than the D12. Righty, so that didn't work. For some reason it looks like the head and the BL touch not allowed. Let me see if I can figure this out.
Later.